Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is. Welcome to Miss Perkins Literature class. It is so nice to have you here on day 5, our last day together, working on drawing conclusions. But before I begin, I wanted to, yesterday I had on my Virginia Union shirt. That's where I got my undergrad. And today I have on my UVA shirt, and that's where I went and I got my reading specialist certification. So just wanted to share that with you, and I hope that this helps you to start thinking about, what am I going to do after I finish with high school? What's going to be my next step? All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you. I hope that everyone is doing well today. And this is our final day on drawing conclusions. Even though we didn't draw conclusions all week long, we first learned about the text, engaged in the text, and then after we got a good understanding of the text, we started making inferences and drawing conclusions, diving into the deep section of the pool. All right, so we're going to do another quick review. I'm sure you guys have this down packed, but we first looked at nonfiction text features, and from here we're able to see just by looking at a text whether a text is fiction or nonfiction, because the nonfiction text features pop out on the page, right? And so we can see those headings and bold print and captions and captions underneath or on the side of the photograph or illustration. We can see graphs. Okay, so there's certain things, text features that pop out at us that let us know that it is, in fact, nonfiction text. And we also discussed that nonfiction text is text that is real, right? So there are real people, real places, real events, real things, real ideas. So then we said, okay, well, where can we find these nonfiction text features? Find them in cookbooks, brochures, student textbook, and directions to anything. So then, what's the author's purpose when he's writing nonfiction text or she's writing nonfiction text? And it's either to inform, provide us with information like you would find in your textbook, to persuade us to do something like you may see in a brochure where they're trying to get us to go somewhere, or explain, which they're telling us how to do something, and you'd find that like in directions or cookbook. All right, so the first strategy we looked at was a before reading, during reading, and after reading. Before we read, we look at the text features, right? We start activating our minds, our brains, and we're thinking about, what could this text be about? What is the genre of the text? And what's the author's purpose? We can start thinking about all those things when we see text features, right? So then after we look at our text features and we make those predictions, we read and we said, okay, we're on the right track, or we thought maybe we'll have to go back and fix something. So then after reading, we were able to confirm our predictions because they were correct, or we had to revise our prediction because they weren't correct. They were incorrect, or not all the way correct. So then our next strategy was we made inferences, right? We used details from the text to make inferences. So we did that by using details, our experience, to figure something out, to make an educated guess, which is called an inference. And then the third thing that we did, we took those inferences and we thought about those inferences to draw a conclusion. So I have to change this. And I'm going to change it to using inferences to draw conclusions. Conclude. All right, so let's go back over here. And I'm going to change it to using inferences to draw conclusions. All right, so let's go back over here. 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 text details, think by inferences, and then from there, we're able to draw our conclusion, which we did. So yesterday's assignment, additional assignment, was based on what I've read and the inferences that I have made. I can conclude that, and your job was to finish that statement up. Okay? So if you didn't finish it up yesterday because you didn't get a chance to do it, or for whatever reason you wanted to do something else, that's fine. Take a couple minutes, pause me, and just think about the inferences that you were able to make yesterday and some of mine that I gave you, because you only had to make two. So you'll need to pull one of my inferences in and then think about what conclusion, what based on that information, those inferences, what educated guess are you able to make from there? What's the big overarching guess that you can make? Educated guess. What is something that you were able to figure out from putting all of that information together? So take a minute. If you need to pause me, pause me. If not, I'm going to keep going. So today, our extension activity doesn't have a lot to do with drawing conclusions. This is more of a reflection on our reading and connecting it to our own personal lives. Okay. So here, today, in your planning document that you were able to access in order to be able to see the video, one of the activities is you will read what kids are saying, and these are different things that kids are doing in different places during this time when everyone's learning at home or all at home. What is happening? You know, what are other kids around the world doing? So I want you to read those, and then I want you to write a brief paragraph describing how you're spending your time at home. Okay? So our I can statement for today is I can write a brief paragraph describing how I'm spending my time at home. And your work is your practice. How are you spending your time at home? You're responding by writing a brief paragraph explaining to us how you're spending your time at home. But I have a question. Is that explaining or are you informing? I'll give you a minute. All right. Excellent job. You are right. I have to take out explaining and I have to write in here informing. Too many INGs in there. All right. So that's your assignment. I hope that you have a great rest of the day. Thank you for coming and learning with me. And let me see. I look forward to seeing you very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.